Hi, this is P.R. Sundar. You must have heard yen carry trade or dollar carry trade. What is this dollar carry trade is all about? So let me try to explain in simple words what is dollar carry trade and what it has got to do with Indian stock market. First, let me tell you a real life incident happened in my life. I think it was in 1995. I was working as a teacher in Singapore. That time, India had a huge foreign reserves problem, and therefore they have given extra interest rate for the NRIs who are bringing in the dollars to India to put it in bank fixed deposit. Those days, the domestic deposits were attracting 12-13% interest rates for NRI deposits, and they've given up to 21% interest. I thought this 20-21% interest is a very attractive interest rate. So I wanted to bring in the foreign currency. Anyway, I was working in Singapore. I was getting the salary in Singapore dollars. But I did not have good amount of money. I had one friend and I asked her, can she lend me about 10 lakh rupees? She used to save the money in a particular cooperative society where they used to pay her 3% interest. So she said she can lend the money to me if I am prepared to pay the same 3% interest to her. And you know, in developed countries, the interest rates are very low. In fact, if she put the money in bank FD, she would hardly get 1%. But since it was a cooperative society, she was getting a higher rate of interest. And then I took a loan of 10 lakh rupees from my friend and I agreed to pay 3% interest to her. And I transferred the same 10 lakh rupees to India. I put it in a bank called City Union Bank, and they offered me 19.5% interest rate. So in 3 years time, my 10 lakh rupees has become 17.5 lakh rupees. I think it was 1998, 3 years later. Again, I renewed the deposit, but by that time, the interest rates have come down. So even for NRIs, they were offering only 12-13%. So again, the same 17.5 lakh I deposited for another 3 years. At the end of 6 years, I got 25 lakh rupees. So I deposited 10 lakh rupees, but I got 25 lakh rupees. So I got 15 lakh rupees interest. But during this period, so every month I paid my friend interest along with some principal amount. So I repaid to my friend over a period of 5 years. And when I calculated, the total interest I paid to my friend was about 1.25 lakh. So the interest I received here is 15 lakhs. The interest I paid there is only 1.25 lakh. So I got a huge difference of nearly 13.75 lakh rupees as a profit. But however, during this 6 years period, Indian currency might have depreciated, Singapore dollar would have appreciated. Even assuming that there is a 10% appreciation in Singapore dollar, and still out of 15 lakh rupees profit, even if you wipe out 1.5 lakh for currency fluctuation, I still gained more than 10 lakh rupees without doing anything. So what is the catch here? In a developed country, interest rates are very low and you borrow from there and come here and deposit the money here where you get high interest rate. So this difference in the interest rate is your profit. But one question, if this is a sure shot profit, why not everybody is doing? Number one, not everybody can borrow from foreign countries. Since I was working in Singapore and I could borrow. Second thing, there is a currency risk. In case currency depreciates, then whatever profit you get may be wiped out. I still remember in 1991, when Manmohan Singh became finance minister, the first thing he did, he depreciated Indian currency by 10%, and the very next day he depreciated again by another 10%. In just 2 days, 20% depreciation was done. So this kind of risk is there. So this is called dollar carry trade. Means you borrow at a lower interest rate in a developed country, come and invest in high yielding countries. In the example I gave, I just deposited money in a bank, I got the interest. But what happens normally, people borrow at a very low interest rates in countries like US and Japan, and they come here and invest in stock market in India. So the probability of their profit is very, very high. That is because their cost of money is very, very low. Now, let me give you one example. In 2008, the Nifty was around 6,000, and in 2020, now Nifty is around 12,000. So in the last 12 years, the Nifty has actually doubled. That means on an average, if you have invested 6,000 rupees, now it would have been 12,000 rupees. So you have doubled your money in the last 12 years. But that doubling of money in last 12 years is only for you and me, not for foreign institutional investors. Assume that one FII brought the money to India in 2008. At that time, $1 was 40 rupees. Assume that he brought $1, he would have got 40 rupees. Now that 40 rupees investment, it has grown to 80 rupees. Now if he takes back this 80 rupees to US, and he is not going to get $2 because the dollar is no more 1:40. Now the dollar is 1:75. So he will hardly get $1.10. So for you and me, the return is 100% in last 12 years. But for foreigners, the return is hardly 10%. So this is the effect of currency appreciation or depreciation. So when foreigners come and invest in Indian market, they get the profit or loss from the share market. That is one thing. And their profitability increases or decreases depending on the currency movement. If Indian currency appreciates, so they get the double benefit. One, the return from the stock market. Two, the return due to the appreciation of Indian currency. If Indian currency depreciates, then our market may also fall. So FIIs will have a double whammy. They lose the money in stock market, on top of which they also lose due to the unfavorable currency exchange rate. So that is why normally when the dollar index is down, our markets go up. When the dollar index is higher, our market go down. So right now, dollar index is weak only, and that is one of the reasons our markets are really good as of now. So I hope you have understood the relation between dollar index and Indian stock markets. Thank you for watching.